Assalamualaikum and welcome to the video. Today we will understand the key HSC tools that we use for the effective risk management, JSA risk assessment and risk management. Their good understanding is essential for any HSC practitioner. Welcome ji. Let's move to our presentation. Topic is understanding of JSA risk assessment and risk management, foundations for a safer workplace. Basically, in this video, I will just explain these three topics, and for the practical demonstration, I will make the further separate videos for each topic. So you can find the details there. So we will simply describe these, explain these topics here. One should know that job safety analysis, risk assessment, and risk management are the crucial tools in HSE if you want to effectively control hazards. So that is why a good understanding is essential for a professional HSE professional. Let's discuss first topic JSA. So let's define it. JSA is a systematic process to identify and control the hazards associated with a specific job or task. This is the scope of JSA. Basically, in the JSA, we identify all the hazards associated with a single job and then implement the suitable control measures. So how it works? Let's first of all we select an activity, a job, and then we divide into its steps, and then we identify potential hazards, and then we analyze the procedure or method statement of the job and find out the root causes where they may lay down. After that, and after this analysis, we recommend the suitable controls so that we can control these hazards. The scope of the JSA is basically very limited. It focuses on a single job at a time. Let's understand the JSA with simple example of the paint activity. So first step, break down the activity into the steps. Let's say the first step is the preparation of the surface, second one is the application of the paint, and third one is the cleaning up. Now, once we have breakdown, then we will identify the hazard associated with each of the step. It may be, let's say, it may be sleeping, inhalation, and other hazards you can add here. So once you have identified all the hazard, then we will look at the procedures of these steps, how you are going to implement them. So we will find the root causes or causes where these hazards can trigger. So as we will analyze this, then accordingly we will suggest the suitable control measures. So these control measures will be implemented to make sure that our job is done safely. So this is overall the process of JSA. So now we move to the next process, risk assessment. So let's define it first. A systematic process to identify the hazards, evaluate the risk associated with the hazard, and suggest the suitable control measure. Basically, it is a similar thing, but the scope of the risk assessment is broader than the JSA. JSA was focusing on a single job, whereas the risk assessment is focusing on the whole activity, where there may be more than one job at a time. So generally, in the risk assessment, there are 5 steps which are generally accepted, which are identification of the hazard, estimation of the risk, evaluation of the risk, note the findings, and review. So here I will just briefly explain these things in my next video, where I will explain how to conduct a risk assessment practically. I will explain in the more details. So let's define. The first step, identification of the hazards, involve the identification of all the potential hazards of the activity in the focus. After once the hazards are identified, then we have to estimate how these hazards may impact our organization. Let's say maybe they can affect your workers, maybe they can affect your environment, your property, anything. So once this is established, then we evaluate the risk. The evaluation process basically include the rating or of the risk level. It may be low, it may be high, it may be medium. So once we evaluate the risk, after that we note the findings. These findings, what is this? We write down all the identified hazards, estimated risk, and evaluated risk, and other things that may include who is the assessor, where the activity was done, what is the expiry of this, what is the validity, so on. So this is the after that the fifth step is the review. Basically, this review step is a continuous process. So where it may be scheduled, after the time period passed, maybe 1 year. After 1 year, each risk assessment should be reviewed, or if there is any change happened. So if there is any change like equipment change, activity change, or incident happened, so after that we have to review our risk assessment. So when it comes to the scope of the risk assessment, so the scope of the risk assessment is basically focused on a activity where there may be more than one job. No, now come to the last topic of the risk management. What is the, let's define it first. Risk management is a structured approach to identifying, assessing, and mitigating the risk to minimize the potential harm and maximize the benefit. This is the same, similar to the risk assessment, but its scope is overall organization. In the risk assessment, we were focusing on a single activity and we were controlling it. In the risk management, we control all the activities and we try to mitigate all the risks. The key components of this is our first step is the identification of the hazard. I am here representing it. Integrate JSA with the risk assessment finding. So this is basically the identification of the hazard. So once the hazards are identified, after that we have to develop and implement risk control, suitable control measures. So our processes are safe and sound. So once we implement the control measure, the next step in the risk management is to monitor them and to check the performance. Are we getting the desired results or not? If we are getting the desired results, then it is good. If not, we have to improve it. So this is monitoring and review of the performance is essential in the risk management. Now let's conclude them. We understood that JSA risk assessment and risk management are the essential tools for ensuring a safe and healthy workplace. So these are the tools we use to mitigate all the risks. So call to action, what is it? So whatever the level of your organization is, it is recommended that to integrate these processes into your health and safety management system. Maybe you have a very small organization, maybe a simple shop, then only the JSA is sufficient for you. But if you have a complex organization where you have to, maybe you have to integrate all of these processes at the same time. So that was it for today. Thanks for watching. Allah Hafiz.